Now, since everything affects everything else, we primarily proceed based on how we feel, primarily. No, part of it is intellect, but the biggest part of it is emotion, how you feel. How you feel determines whether you read or don't read. Right? Reading is not really a skill problem. Now, you learn some better skills for better reading, but most of you knew how to read, right, before you ever got here. So whether you read or not is not really a skill problem. It's an attitude problem. The direction you take is attitude. You can decide to be happy or sad. That's attitude. How you react to a certain situation is primarily attitude. Right? You can either care or not care. You can listen or not listen. You can go or not go. Right? You can be there or not be there. You can decide or not decide. That's all by attitude. So attitude is the determining factor. So attitude determines our potential, how much potential we tap. Guess how much capacity we have? No telling. I mean, we're just now beginning to understand the mental, emotional, human capacity. Our lives are far too brief for the capacity, for whatever mystery that is. In one of the old world sayings, it says, we get too soon old and too late smart. Now, it isn't that we couldn't be smarter, but it just seems as though life is so brief, we just don't really have a chance to tap in on all of our mental and emotional and awareness capacity. But that's one of the mysteries of life, and it's meant to ponder, I'm sure. But depending on how much potential we tap, that really depends on how we feel. Now, if we don't tap much potential, of course, we're going to have a poor action plan. The person says, well, I'm not getting there early and leaving late if this is all they're paying. Most everybody wants to know. Not most everybody. Some people want to know. How little can I do and how much can I get? I found it a bit disturbing when I got to Australia. I found the people incredibly vigorous, but I also found that they were trying to figure out ways to work less and less and less and earn more and more and more. Have you heard of that philosophy? The question was, how little can we do and how much can we get? Remember, everything has four parts. Everything has four parts. One is cause. Two is effect. Three is direction. And four is destination. Everything has those four parts: cause and effect, direction and destination. See, the philosophy that says we want to work less and less and less and earn more and more and more puts us on a certain direction. And I'm sure everybody will agree to that. Now, the ultimate end of the philosophy is, can we finally not do anything and get it all? Right? That's the final destination of the philosophy. Can we do less and less and less and earn more and more and more? Now, the people who go for that philosophy usually say, no, 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 we don't want to take you that far down the road, because that would be bankruptcy for all of us, which is true. Right? They say, we don't want to take you that far down the road. Well, now the next question is, how far down that road do you want to take us? See, there's always a danger point, right, of going down one road too far, because sometimes when momentum is created, demise is soon. You cross the line of no return once you go too far. So you've always got to be careful of your philosophical approach to make sure the direction you're going and the ultimate destination. Because one of the major questions for all of us to ask, if you keep pursuing your present plan that you've been engaged in for the past year, where will it almost ultimately take you in the next 10, 20 years? Because one of the major questions to ask is, 10 years from now, you will surely arrive. The question is, where? Where are you headed with your current reading schedule? Where are you headed with your current philosophical position? Where are you headed with your current attitude toward the potential you tap from your own abilities and the action plan you have? Where will you finally wind up? See, those are major questions. What we all want to make sure is that what we're doing is taking us in the direction we want to go, and will cause us to arrive where we want to arrive. Otherwise, sure enough, 5, 10 years from now, you could wind up being where you don't want to be, wearing what you don't want to wear, driving what you don't want to drive, living where you don't want to live. Now's the time to fix the next 10 years, right? Now's the time to come to some better philosophical conclusions. But we're all affected by this, how we feel, the potential we tap, the action we take. Now, the action we take brings a certain amount of results. If we've got a poor plan tapping little potential, what kind of results do we get? Awful. Now, if you've got bad results, how do you feel? Since everything affects everything else. Yeah, lousy. That's a good word. Lousy. Now, if you feel bad, what kind of potential do you? How many classes do you take? How many skills do you learn? You just don't go, right? Now you've got a poorer plan. You get there later and leave earlier. Figure out a way to do less instead of more. And that brings poorer results. Inflation finally starts eating you up here. Now you really feel bad. Now you're not going to tap very many of your skills. You're going to come up with a poorer plan, poorer results. And this cycle now is going down. And almost everything is either cycling up or cycling down. Nothing ever just sort of hangs in there. Right? Life is sort of like riding a bicycle. You either got to get on or get off. You know, get going or get off. You know, you just can't hang in there. Right? We're either climbing or sliding. We're growing or dying. And how we feel and the cycle of events that are happening in our lives is usually either taking us up or taking us down. Now, if we're going down, we got to step in here somewhere and change all this. Now, question. To change the cycle of what is happening in your life, where do you step in to change this whole process? Attitude. We only proceed from how we feel. Now, what you know determines how you feel, but what happens to you determines how you feel. Humans have the incredible ability to finish the future before they start it. Because we also talk about that in time management. When should you start the day? Answer. Don't start the day until you have it finished. Question. Is it possible to finish something before you start it? Answer. Of course, humans have this unique ability. It's like building a house. So you don't start building your house till you have it finished. You mean you can finish a house before you start it? Yes. It would be dumb to start it until you had it finished. Okay? We finish it by plan. We finish it by design. Now then, goals can become like a magnet. What you want now is the pull of the future. Now, some things will pull just because intellectually you're aware of the potential and the possibility of the future. That will pull. The discoveries and what can happen and the economy and living in this unique country and the market possibilities and the potentials. I mean, you can get excited about that, simply intellectually. However,